All right, Shalom. I want to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double blessing and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another lesson through the Spirit, man. It's going to be a quick one, but nonetheless, Lord willing to be edifying. So I'm going to go ahead and get this. It says opinion, which really, I could get anything about this, man, because there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a long-ass article. I'm going to go back. So, nonetheless, man, tensions are rising with India and Pakistan, right? And America is really trying to drag these BRICS nations into a war to try and stop what they're doing, right? You have Pakistan and India going at it, which they've always had tensions, but it's starting to get nuclear. It might turn into a nuclear war. You have Iran, or Salakia, you have the Houthis in Israel, right? As well as the Houthis in the U.S. They're trying to drag Iran into it. And they're also trying to stop Iran from having nuclear weapons. And this is just America's plan, man, to get these other nations into war, right? So I'm going to get this. Nuclear war is brewing between India and Pakistan. Here's what the world needs to know. The massacre of 26 tourists in a lovely vale beneath the snow-covered Himalayan peaks last month carries implications far beyond the bloodshed. Looming above the carnage is the apparition of nuclear war erupting between two of the world's 9 nuclear powers on a subcontinent with an aggregate population approaching 2 billion. Neither India nor Pakistan has conducted a nuclear test since 1998, but they are primed to tip missiles with warheads or drop them from planes. If the massacre lights the spark that ignites a nuclear holocaust, they've both raised the stakes, with India going beyond missile tests to deadly strikes at what it claims were the hit hideouts of terrorists in a portion of Kashmir that's held by Pakistan, right? So they've been sending strikes towards each other. Pakistan claims to have shot down 2 Indian warplanes, with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif vowing revenge for an act of war. India ordered the missile barrage as soldiers, police, and civilian agents rounded up at least 2,000 Kashmiris suspected of playing a role, directly or indirectly, in the worst terror incident in years in the highly disputed region. As tensions reach a breaking point, war, conventional or nuclear, is becoming increasingly difficult to avoid. One major difference between this and previous episodes of violence is that Pakistan has canceled an agreement establishing the line of control in Kashmir between India and Pakistan. The two sides came together at Simla in the aftermath of founding of Bangladesh, previously known as East Pakistan. Right, so all of those little countries around India, like Sri Lanka, like you see Sri Lanka's off the coast, Pakistan right here, Bangladesh, to name a few. Those are all Elamite nations, right? They're all Elamite nations. If you just go into the history of it, at some point they was together, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, Bangladesh was known as East India. Sri Lanka, I don't wanna waste time like going to the history of it, but at one point, I don't even want to say they was together, but those are also Elamites over there as well. They just from a different country, quote unquote. They're still the same uh, house, so to speak, or bloodline. It's just as if you had a Jake living in the United Kingdom. Just because their nationality is UK doesn't mean that their heritage isn't Jake, right? They're not. It doesn't mean that they're not a part of the 12 tribes. That's just their nationality. India ordered the missile barrage. I read that as tensions reach a breaking point, war, conventional or nuclear, is becoming increasingly difficult to avoid. One major difference between this and previous episodes of violence is that Pakistan has canceled an agreement establishing a line of control in Kashmir, which is like I was just looking this up before the lesson. It's basically like a region in between the two countries. Conflicts claims over the Kashmir region and a history of border disputes and conflicts. So they've been going at it, just like Iran and Israel have been going at it for years, or like Iran and Pakistan, or even Ukraine and Russia. This shit didn't just start these past couple of years. They've been had conflicts, man. It didn't just spring up and pop up out of nowhere, but it's definitely been become amplified in these past couple of years, right? Netanyahu has been had an interest of bombing Iran. He's came out and said that out of his mouth. It's not nothing that's you know what I'm saying unknown, right? That's why he's trying to drag America into this as well. These Edomites, man, they plans, man. They want all out war, right? That shit's gonna end up blowing back on them, and that's according to prophecy. The two sides came together at Simla in the aftermath of the founding of Bangladesh, previously known as East Pak. I already read this, which was separated from West Pakistan by about 1,800 miles of Indian territory. Pakistan, with the blessing of the American Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, waged a bloody war to preserve its eastern and western sectors as one country. India military support against Pakistan was essential in Bangladesh's victorious freedom struggle. You know, India used to be under Edomite rulership as well. They had their ass in captivity around the time of Gandhi and stuff. And they didn't get their freedom until like I want to say the early 1900s, like the 1940s or something like that. And don't quote me on that. India and Pakistan have come to blows periodically since then, but last month's attack could have lasting, far-reaching repercussions. I don't wanna misspeak. Let me see. When did India? Yeah, that's what I thought. 1947 from the Brits. The clash between two nuclear powers is always worrisome. Pakistan's defense minister Khawaja Asif. This 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 article basically is as long as the other one. It wouldn't matter which one I read anyway. This information still need to get out, and plus I'm edifying myself too. So Asif also warned in an interview with Britain Sky News is that if there is an all-out attack, then obviously there will be an all-out war. Let's keep reading and I'm going to get this. Asif also accused India of having staged the attack in a false flag operation, with the implication that India had plotted the entire incident to fool people into believing Pakistan had perpetrated a slaughter that could ultimately lead to war, right? You know, India is one of those forefront countries of the BRICS, man. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, along with other countries, man. We will measure our response to whatever is initiated by India, Asif said. Indians whom I contacted, however, are downplaying the likelihood of war breaking out right away. India and Pakistan are very unlikely to fight a nuclear war. And this is opinion, by the way. The founder of the Kalinga Institute of Indo-Pacific Studies in New Delhi, Chintamani Mahapatra, told me the deadly outcomes of nuclear exchange is known to both parties, notwithstanding nuclear saber rattling by Pakistan. It would not go to the extent of using nuclear weapons. And remember, that's just an opinion, man. So I want to say this. These nations ultimately, the ones that are beefing with each other, they, in the end, they're all going to end up coming against America, Babylon the Great, and Edomites. That's just a fact. Jeremiah 49:14. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come up against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, right? So the wickedness that they've spread throughout the land, man, right? Drinking the wine and the wrath of her fornication. Spreading iniquity throughout the lands, right? Getting these countries, pushing these countries to go to war. All of that shit's gonna blow back on them, right? As it says, man, it have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. We was just talking about that yesterday. That holdest the height of the hill, though thou should makest thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. And if we just go down a little bit, it's a prophecy against Elam, which are the two countries that we're talking about right now. This is I want to say this. This is a prophecy of old, but it still can be applied to today, because ultimately Elam's gonna be, all of these nations gonna be judged, especially if the ones that was in cahoots with America or had anything to do with Edomites, right? They're gonna be judged, and that's just a simple fact. And then also, these nations are gonna be judged if they had a part in our captivity as well. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. Prophecy against Elam. The word of Yahweh. This is Jeremiah 49:34. The word of Yahweh that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the region of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. And upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds. And there shall be no nation whither the outcasts of Elam shall not come. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life. And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith Yahweh. And I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them. So ultimately, like I said, man, these nations are going to get judged. Especially, man, you gotta realize, man, the Edomites have done a number. Not just on us, specifically us. They've definitely done a number on us. But they've also committed atrocities with other countries too. Like I just said, they was under Edomite captivity. But they also are heathens too, and they're wicked. I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them, and I will set my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king and the princes, saith Yahweh. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith Yahweh. Right? Like I said, that was a prophecy of old, but can still be applied today. I want to get this, because this is division too. You have two people, two groups, two countries of people that are of the same heritage, and these motherfuckers are fighting with each other, just like Edomites go to war with Edomites, because Esau, Edom, they don't care. They don't care about other nations. They don't even care about their own people. This is Matthew 24:5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? And it's like these things are escalating, man. I'm telling you, we're hearing about war more and more in the news, man. More and more escalation, more and more troubles. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? I can't wait till they stir up Iran. These Arab nations form together. They start forming their allegiance and come against it. Bitch, woo! That's how you know we're gonna be at the end. That's how you know we at the end, man. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, right? Division, as we always say, man. This is the divided kingdom, man. Esau Edom's kingdom is divided in every way you can find. In every way you could find. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. It says, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try and finish this real quick. Indians whom I contacted, however, are downplaying the likelihood of war breaking out right away, are unlikely to fight a nuclear war. I read that. One safeguard for India: Pakistan knows that India has a large Muslim population. Mahapatra told me it would not use a weapon that could kill it would not use a weapon that could kill a large number of Muslims. Besides, he said the final outcome of a nuclear exchange could result in total obliteration of Pakistan, though the cost to India will be gargantuan as well. I want to. Tensions escalated as Pakistan calls India's operation an act of war. I'm going to only read a couple paragraphs. Right, this is what we said. India said the strikes, which occurred overnight Wednesday local time, as targeting terrorist infrastructure. It said in a statement the strikes were focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature, and that no Pakistani military facilities were targeted. Later, Indian Colonel Sophia Qureshi said in a news briefing locations were so selected to avoid damage to civilian infrastructures and loss of any civilian lives. It says Pakistan government called Wednesday's strikes an act of war, and according to the Associated Press, citing the Pakistani military, 31 people have been killed. So this shit, man, these things are amplifying, worse and worse. I don't know why my 1611 is not up. Can I spell? I'm tripping. Fornication. There we go. Okay, I can't spell. With an I. I think it's in Revelation. It might be in Revelation chapter 8. Oh, Salaki, Revelation 18. So this is Revelation 18 and 3. And these countries gonna mourn for her, man. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So none of these countries are innocent. And the Lord is bringing forth judgment upon these countries, man. Second Ezra 15 and 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they exceedingly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right, so the Lord's going to avenge us. These countries, they guilty too. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it off there. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double blessing and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And as always, one day close to the kingdom, man. Shalom.